Hello and welcome to the new video, and in this video we're going to quickly make two rectangular elbows. One will be the mitered, so I have this mitered duct, and one will be the radial. And if you follow the same pattern, you can easily create a round duct elbow as well using the same method. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to file new, and I'm going to create a family. I'm going to use this metric duct elbow template. There's a lot of benefits there inside because there's some things preloaded already inside. So I have these reference planes, I have these reference lines, and if I go to the parameters, so these are the coded parameters already there. Center radius and angle, I can change the angle value to say 60 degree, I can change it to 90 degree, and so on and so forth. So let's go back to 45 degree. And what I'm going to do quickly now, I'm going to make some new parameters with for the duct dimensions. So it has to be instant, so I prefer choosing discipline HVAC, and here the duct size instead of just a length parameter. There are some additional benefits that we get later on by choosing this HVAC and duct size. So I'm just quickly going to line them up like so. So I'm just going to give some value. Let's say width is 500 and height is 300. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to click here and I go to profiles. I choose rectangular, and inside duct rectangular, I'm going to just double click this, and the width parameter I'm going to map with my width parameter that I just created inside the family, and the height parameter with the height. So you see that the values have been adapted, and now I'm just going to create the sweep. And if this is a radial family, you just pick the path and click or select this radial line and just click and just select duct rectangular and then click OK. So now one little modification that I need to do in this fitting is that, so here it is created with center radius, so but most people, mostly it is not convenient to use the center radius, so it's always convenient to have this radius, which is from this reference line to the inner edge of the duct. So right now this value is 200. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a new parameter called radius, and it's just to be instance. I prefer it to be instance, and it can also be a type parameter, but let's keep it instance at the moment quickly. And I'm just going to give it a value, say 50, and then I can calculate my center radius as a function of my this new parameter called radius. So I'm going to just give the formula radius plus half of width. So now it's being calculated, and now you see the center radius is adjusted, and it is being calculated as a function of this radius, which we can measure here from this reference plane to the edge of the duct. So I can go to my 3D view, shaded, and I can change the angle to any value, 90. And then now let's go back to 45, let us say. All right, so now the only thing which is remaining right now is I have to choose my my duct connector, make sure it is face, and make sure this is set to fitting. Then select this face, rotate and select this face, and now you have to do some additional settings on these two connectors. So just I can select both of them at one time, and I have to map my height parameter with height and the width parameter with width, and the angles I have to map also with my angle parameter, and the family is ready. It's so quick. And now what I can do is that I can load this family into my project, and I can test this if it works properly or not. And if there's some problem, we'll go back to the family and adjust and bring it back. So right now this, you can see family 8, and this is radial, so I will select the radial duct and radius. So what I will do, I will just go to the preferences, and I will choose this family 8, and now I'll just see if it works properly or not. So draw duct, so it works. I will choose some other angle as well, and it works properly. All right, so this is so good. It just created it within few minutes. And now I go back to, or let's say, so this family 8, I will just rename it. So let's say I'll call it rectangular radial elbow. And now when I go back to this family is still family 8, and I'll just do very quick changes to create mitered elbow. This can be converted to the mitered within few minutes again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this sweep and pick path. So this path I'm just going to delete and pick edges, and instead of this I'm going to select these straight lines and hit OK and OK. And now you may wonder, or you may want to check that if these connectors are still sometime, because the faces have been changed, so you may want to check by changing the angle that, so you see they are not correct. So just delete them and insert the connectors again. All right, so from here, yeah, so just connect the connectors again, duct connector, and make sure it is fitting, and make sure this is face here and here, and then you select the both connectors again and map these parameters: angle with angle, height with height, and width with width. And then next thing you have to do, you have to connect the connectors, link the connectors with each other. So make sure that you see this line that makes sure that these two connectors are linked with each other. So that's it, this family is ready. So now again I brought family 8, but this time this is a mitered elbow. I'm going to load in my mitered duct. Here I just load my family 8. So now it's time to test my family, and this is done. So one thing I forgot to change here in mitered is to change this parameter name. So here it's elbow, I can change it to, let's call this shoulder instead. It's shoulder instead of radius, because it's not no more. And you can see that the formula is already updated. Instead of radius it is shoulder. So now I'll load it back in the project and oversize. All right, and now you can see any instance, and since it's an instance parameter of shoulder, you can change the value to a new value and it changes. So that's very quick method, and I hope you like it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share. Thanks, have a nice time.